Hello everybody, it's Mr. Popton here from Pocatello, Idaho. Today we're going to be looking at the Chinese military. So, for Axis and Allies, excuse me. So, I originally painted just all my aircraft for the game because I was magnetizing them for carriers. And then I was like, well, I'm going to paint the Chinese aircraft too. And I did end up magnetizing them. I was playing a couple games with it, and all the Air Force was painted, but everything else was just like the regular colors. So I was like, you know what? Mine as well. I'm running out of things to do here. So I went through and I painted all my Chinese units first. I did these last night. So yeah, here they are. So I went and I'll tell you kind of a little bit how I did it and some colors I used. So I turned this guy around so you could see kind of the backside. But I went through and I sprayed the whole entire piece with a solid color. I did Italian olive. Which I originally bought to use on Russia, but after I tested it, it didn't look right. So I'm like, that could do for Chinese. So yeah, Italian olive. Rotate that guy a little bit so we can see different angles. So the pieces were completely sprayed with that, and then once that was dried, I went through and I started adding all the details. So first I went through and I added the white stockings down to the feet. That way, if I needed to, I could go a little bit further down on the shoe. That way when I draw the shoes, black will cover white easier. Following that, I did put the black shoes in. And then once that was done, I went through and I did all the faces khaki. So all our faces are just khaki. That's what color it is. And then I went through and painted their rifles brown. And then I went back to khaki and put their hands on there. Following that, I put gunmetal and put that on the tip of their rifles to show the metallic part of the rifle. Yeah, and I think that really stands out. It's slightly shiny, but I kind of like that. I think that gunmetal is going to look really good on the bayonets that Japan has. So I'm kind of excited to paint them next. But that's the Chinese infantry there. Let's pan over and look at their cavalry. So, like many YouTubers out there, I did add cavalry. I did not purchase my cavalry from Historical Board Game. And I might in the future, because there are some things I do not like about these guys. If they look familiar, they're from that Risk game. Here's one of the unpainted Risk pieces. So cavalry, in my game, I've made it a special unit that only China can have. So, let's go closer here. Let's give you a couple different angles. No, we don't need you anymore. I'm going to pull up an infantry just so we can see how close they are in. You can tell they're the same. So I painted the whole horse kind of a light brown, and then I went through and, well, I guess first I sprayed it down with this Italian olive that I did for the infantry. Sprayed the whole thing. Then I painted the horse that light brown we're looking at. Following that light brown on the horse, I did a dark wash on all of the hair, so their mane and their tail. And then I did a, and that was kind of a darker brown wash. And then I went through with a black dry brushed, and I dry brushed their tail and mane, so to help make that stand out even more. From there, I went through and painted the saddle dark brown. It's probably the best piece you can see it on. So, yeah, they're just sitting on that dark brown saddle there. Nothing too fancy there. I did go and dry brush with khaki here for the reins. Make those pop a little bit. And then I went through and painted all of the swords. They all have swords. And I did that in gunmetal. So then I went through and painted all the faces khaki. Now these guys don't have detailing in their faces like these soldiers do. So you can see the nose and stuff. These guys are kind of just like flat and a little bumpy. But I just painted around them anyways in to try and make some sort of a face. Which after that, it made me kind of want to be like, maybe I'll buy some cavalry online. But so now let's go down and, well, let's put this guy back in formation. You lunatic. Let's go down and check out the artillery now. So the artillery, I sprayed them. Sorry, I'm OCD, I think. I sprayed them with the same color that I sprayed everyone. And then after that, I went over with white. It almost looks silvery, but it's just white. And I did the dry brushing. So the dry brushing technique I used, I got it from Detroit at the Garrison. I'll put a link to his video where he does that. So he dry brushes some pieces and it looks awesome. So that's what I did there on those artillery. So I think they turned out nice, pretty basic. Oh, I did, before the dry brushing, I did paint one of the wheels just solid black. And that's artillery for you. Sorry about the squeaking. My dog got a new toy. She's in the other room. Alright, so here are the aircraft. Why are there 3? Well, I painted 3, and I was going to put the best looking one in game. But after I painted them, I was like, well, you know, I spent a few minutes on each of these. I don't want to just throw one away. So, again, I painted these before I decided that I was even going to paint the Chinese ground units. So, they don't exactly match, but with that Chinese roundel on the thing, it's pretty obvious it's theirs, and no one else really has these colors. So again, I did put that mouth on there. How I did it, I just painted the bottom area where the mouth is. I'm like blocking a lot of light here. I painted that white, and then I painted a dot white up there. And then I got a razor blade, I believe. And then I dipped the tip of the razor blade in black and just touched the eye where I wanted that pupil. And then I tipped the blade again. And then I'd make teeth. I'd go up and down making teeth with the razor. That's how I did it. It looks a little messy, but that's how I decided to do it. Here's the other side. I thought it turned out okay. I don't know why, but I magnetized these for whatever reason. But yeah, that's the Chinese aircraft there. And that's the Chinese army. So there they are. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week.